right, we're recording. Just give it a few minutes to wait for the rest of the people to come in. We got 20 signups, so it's exciting. Got the theme song going on. Matt, is it Matthew? You go by Matthew? Okay. Mm-hmm. You're coming in from Canada?
Yes, sir, from Quebec. Yeah.
Have everyone introduce themselves, just name where you're from, but yeah, I just want to give just a few minutes for the remainder of the crew to come in. Sometimes there's a technical. I'm glad that it worked this time though. You guys got the link automatically. I'm so stoked by my personal upgrade with understanding the software stuff. Like it's like there's always been something, but it's working better and better. Just because I mean, it's like life. You just keep trying and you keep trying and you keep trying and then get someone. Pause. All right, there's Tani. All right, we're at 9:03. You guys cool if we go to 9:04 before we have an official start? Is that okay? Excellent. Robert. I haven't met you. Nice to see you.
Hola. Nice to see you too. Unable to access camera.
Is that you, Miles? I can't see who said that.
Oh, it's me, brother. Jamie.
Jamie. Yeah, you have a colorful screen, but don't see your pretty face.
It's the spectrum coming through, bro.
Yeah. We have your aura.
I'm working on the privacy setting on my phone. I'll be right back with you.
All right, cool. All right, well, 9:04 it is. Welcome, everybody. Why don't we just take a moment and go ahead and put yourself on gallery so that you can see all the faces, and just give all of us just a moment of silence as you just kind of scan through the Sangha, the group of people that have chosen to set aside an hour of time for breath camp. And just kind of send a silent blessing to this group of people. Really feel that in the heart. And as we're here in silence together, before I start to ramble on, I have just a proposition just to get us all in the same space together and to feel that we're connected more. Well, for yourself, just think about why this is appealing to you this time. Like, what is it that brings you to the breath camp? What is it that really is inspiring you to be here? And just think about that for a moment. Really kind of get clear with yourself. That brings you here. And once you have that, see if you can distill that statement. This is kind of your, we call it the sankalpa. You may have heard this word. Sankalpa in Sanskrit is the word for intention, but it's a little bit deeper than intention. And once you have your sankalpa, see if you can distill it to one word. Why you're here, one word. And now I'll start and we'll go around and we'll just say your name, where you are in the world, and then that one word of your sankalpa, your distilled intention. And so my Grant Iflander, I'm in Costa Rica. And freedom is my reason for being here. Freedom. And I'm going to pass it that way. If you guys are in gallery view, that way we have Matthew Harvey. I'm going to have Matthew go ahead and unmute yourself and just name where you're from and your sankalpa.
So I'm Matthew from Canada, and the one word I have would be self.
Excellent. Thank you. Michelle? Huh?
My name is Michelle. I'm in Chandler, Oregon. And my one word for the day would be love.
And just as everyone's kind of sharing and you're hearing their words, see if you can actually relate. It's something that happens automatically, right? And you can feel it. You can feel your own energy kind of go out to that person and bring a part of them into this space. So just bringing us all together in that way. So thank you, Michelle. Love, Chandler, Arizona. Lexi, or not Lexi, we have Tanya down there. I know it says Lexi, but go ahead, Tanya.
Tanya from Houston, and mine is space.
Great, thank you. Jamie?
My name is Jamie in the great Pacific Northwest of the U.S. And what holds true for me right now in this moment is love.
Love. All right, Miles.
I'm Miles. I'm in Austin, Texas. And what came up for me was flow.
Awesome. Thank you. Tani?
Good morning. My name is Tani. I'm in Arizona, Tempe, and my word is hope.
Thank you. We're doing like a spiral, so it's going to go Tani, and then we have Kaylee and Danny up there. Go ahead, guys.
I'm Danny, and my word is honesty. Oh, we're in Chandler too.
I'm Kaylee, and my word is re-inspiration.
Great. You guys. All right, Rick.
Hello, good morning. Rick Hansen, Glendale, Arizona, and breath is my word for today.
Thank you, Rick. All right, Master Robert G.
Me. Oh, hi. I'm in Costa Rica, and my word would be presence.
Excellent. Thank you. And last but not least, Mr. Bryce.
Hi, my name is Bryce Axelrod. I'm in Houston, Texas. My word would be learning.
Cool. Let's just take a deep breath and really like bring all of this, what everyone has said, bring it into yourself, bring it up your spine, and just a nice long exhale. All right. Thank you, everybody. I'm really glad to be doing this again, to be doing the online thing. I was resistant to it for a while, but here we are. And now that we're all here, I would like, if it's okay with you guys, I'm just gonna share a little bit about what this is. And so we'll kind of talk about what the breath camp is, what my intention is for this, what I hope that you get out of it, kind of setting expectations so that we know what's going to happen. And after a little bit of that, I'll move into some theory about what breath work is, especially from a yogic perspective, and then we'll actually move into practicing. And there might be some practices kind of intermixed in between just to give us some examples of what I'm talking about, but that'll be the general flow. So there'll be a little bit of talking, a little bit of maybe some discussion, some theory, and then we'll move into just solely practicing. So yeah, how does that sound to everybody? Does that feel like a good flow? Great, thank you. So first of all, yeah, we can start with Sangha, I think. Does everyone raise your hand if you know what this word is or you've heard this before, Sangha? Okay, so there's a couple of you who this is new, which is great. It's not, it's Buddha talked a lot about Sangha. You guys know Buddha? Raise your hand if you know Buddha. Okay. So Buddha was actually a yogi. I don't know if anyone knew that, but he was a very ascetic yogi, and he ended up going to an extreme to discover what enlightenment was. And anyways, I won't get into the story of Buddha, but he talks a lot about Sangha, and I'm going to talk about it because I feel like it's a place to start. And what Sangha is, the word Sangha is just the company of people that you're with that share a common intention. So, and this actually has a powerful influence over us and over our consciousness. So just so we can have a common intention, we all heard what everyone said, right? Can we all agree that we're all here for somewhat the same reason? Right? Like you're probably like, oh yeah, they said what I feel. Like all these different people are kind of little cells in a bigger organism, and that bigger organism is called life. And I don't know about you, but there's a lot of crazy stuff happening these days, and I'm feeling that. I'm sure you're feeling that too, right? Like, what are we supposed to do is always the question. And again, I don't know about you, but I just want to do the best thing I can do, right? Doesn't everybody want to figure out what they can do about it, whatever it is? And so one of the things that I found and has helped me is just being in a space where we're not just talking about solutions, but we're actually putting into practice things that have worked for thousands of years, right? Breath work is not something that's been discovered by Wim Hof and got popular 5 years ago or 10 years ago. Although breath work is becoming a very popular thing, and it's amazing, and it makes me really happy to see that, it wasn't invented recently. Breath work came on the scene, and the yogis also weren't like the classical Indian yogis. We can't even say that they were the people who discovered it, because breath is something that's universal. Thankfully, we have the yoga system, which is a system of practices with theories that have been not only talked about for thousands of years, but they've been practiced for thousands of years. And that's why I'm here, is because I want to keep this tradition alive. Mo, we got you here, but I'm going to mute you, but I'll have you introduce yourself in just a moment. And I want to keep this tradition alive because regardless of what's happening in the world, this has been something that has helped humanity for a really long time. And so that's just kind of the general framework, is the understanding that breath work is something that's been around forever, perhaps in many different traditions. And in the online, the breath camp, what I hope to do is really bring some concepts into our awareness as a community about what this is doing for us, so that we can stay inspired to do it. Because really it just comes down to practicing. It comes down to us keeping our own healing practices alive. Because the more our fire burns, the more our fire will ignite other fires. And that has just been so true for me, and probably for you too. And the reason I think that's an important place to start is because my segue, karma. You guys raise your hand if you know this word, karma. So karma is also an Indian term. And karma actually comes from the same root word as create. You guys know what create means, right? That's an English word. So karma and create actually have the same root word. And that word is Kri. K-R-I. Okay, K-R-I. And Kri means to act or to do. And it makes sense when you think about it. Create, karma. And why I'm bringing this up is because a big part of what we do in breath is we undo our karmas. We clear our karmas, because when we don't clear our karmas, we repeat them. Does everyone know what I mean when I say that? If we don't heal, we repeat the lesson. And that's what's happening in humanity, and that has been what has happened since the beginning of time. Why? Because we have a lot of waking up to do, not only as individuals, but as a collective species. And that's always going to be true. That's never not going to be true. Why? Because life is evolving, right? Life is trying to get us somewhere. Does everyone agree? Life is trying to show something to us so that we can learn and we can grow and we can evolve. And so karma is literally a law. It's one of my teachers called it Newton's third law. Does everyone know Isaac Newton, the guy who discovered gravity? It's a law. It's a physics equation, the law of cause and effect, karma. You do something, you get this result. And when you understand that, you start to see, oh, that's why I am the way I am. And if you start to see, oh, that's why I am the way I am, you can start to do something about that. Isn't that beautiful? You're like, oh, I actually have a creative ability to influence my destiny. And not only my own individual destiny, but the destiny for this whole organism. And that's, I don't know about you, but to me, that's a really inspiring, empowering thing. It can become a weight if you allow it. It can feel like a burden. Raise your hand again if you feel like you've felt the burden of humanity recently. Right? Like, God. And I think that's a good thing. I think it's a good thing, but it doesn't need to be a heavy weight. It doesn't need to keep us down. And why it doesn't need to keep us down is because, well, we have tools to not allow it to keep us down. And what are those tools? This is the segue into the second part of this discussion, that we want to know what's happening. We want context for it, but we also want to know how and why. And that the tools we have are known as sadhana. Sadhana. I'll type it in the chat in case you haven't heard this word. I know some of you have, some of you, this might be new. Sadhana is another Sanskrit word. I'm not going to have a test at the end. I'm not going to quiz you guys on these terms, but I just want to just give some yogic framework because these things are valuable. And so sadhana is the way of attainment, or you could think of it as the system of healing that you use to clear your karma so that you don't repeat the past. Yeah. So your individual process that you go through so that you don't repeat the past is your sadhana. And you might have many different modalities in that. Yeah, you might choose to have a certain diet. You might choose to have a certain sleep routine, lifestyle routine, exercise routine. All of these things, all of that compiles into your sadhana, your way of attainment, your way of progressing your individual self so that you're more free, you're less burdened. Is any of this making sense? Are you guys resonating? Okay, awesome. Yeah, that's great. Thank you, Michelle. So we have our Sangha, we have our group of people who are determined to do something about it. Now, what is it? What do we want to do? And that's clear the karma so that we don't repeat the past, because we have this beautiful, beautiful thing called the present moment. Everyone knows the present moment. Everyone talks about the present moment. Be present, be present. It's hard to be present when you are feeling threatened, right? It's hard to be present when you're triggered. In fact, you're not present when you're triggered. You are moved away from the infinite moment now, and you're now experiencing a reaction to something. So why am I bringing up presence? Well, we have tools that help us come into the present moment. And the thing about the present moment, and this is what's so beautiful, is it's not some mystical reality. It's not some like far off, unattainable, enlightened state of being, you know, that you have to like study scripture and meditate in a cave to understand. Everyone understands presence. And it's the most simple state, actually. It's not a samadhi yogic state that you have to do breath work to attain. It's the most simple state, but there's layers of complexity to presence, right? And for me, in my experience with these breathing practices and with yoga in general, is as I've continued to progress in my yoga practices, my presence has deepened, which allows life to come in and it completes itself. And what I mean by that is as you deepen into presence in yourself, you become a space for life to be digested. Does that make sense? Like, have you ever felt that when you were fully present listening with someone, you actually allowed a healing to occur that wasn't available if you weren't actually just totally spacious and listening? And then the opposite of that is when you're not spacious and you're not listening, and there's this kind of table tennis match happening where you're ping-ponging back and forth. And if you look at the world right now, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of back and forth table tennis. And I find that very frustrating, actually. I find it very, very frustrating that these tools that bring us into a more present, embodied state of being aren't easily and widely accessible. Like, if we know that presence helps, why isn't it talked about more? I mean, it is talked about a lot, but we don't know how to attain it. It's like it does become some far off mystical state. And then we talk about meditation, and then we try to meditate and we sit, and then we can't stop our mind. And then we're like, fuck it, I'm not going to meditate. This doesn't work. I'm not getting anywhere. Right. And then it's just this cycle. And then you go back out in the world, and then you're fighting and you're trying to put out all these fires, and none of them go out. They you know, put out one fire over here, another one comes up over here, and it's just. So back to presence. So I put a lot there. Is everyone still with me? Great. Okay. I think, yeah, I don't want to talk too much more. I would like to practice with you guys. So one of the things that I think we can do is, because are a few more concepts that I'd like to address, and we'll address them in coming weeks. Like, this is going to be building. I'll continue doing this, but what I'd like to do now is just, let's have an experiment so that we can understand presence, but we can understand presence in conjunction with the mind-body connection. Because presence arises out of embodiment. Okay? And when you practice being embodied, you can be present more often. It's not something you try to do, it's something that happens because you practiced it. Does that make sense? So this is a really, really simple way just to uncover what I'm talking about. We'll do this. This will be an experiment. We'll do a few practices. I might address a few more concepts, and then we'll go into a longer practice. And then we'll be done by about 10, maybe 10:05. Does that sound good with everybody? Awesome. So step one, I want you just to inhale wherever you are. You're sitting, it's fine. Just inhale and reach up with an inhale, and then with an exhale, lower your hands. And just do that like 4 or 5 times. Just inhale, reach up. Exhale and reach down. And try not to make it like a big deal, you know. You're just lifting your arms with an inhale and you're lowering them with an exhale. All right. And go ahead and come down. So we have a mind-body connection that happens. It's a very unique, there's a switch that occurs when you pay attention to your movement with your mind, because it takes your mind from out here in the world and it turns it inward. So that right there is called pratyahara, this withdrawal of the senses. You're no longer attentive of what's happening in your environment. You're paying attention to your inner environment. And something the yogis knew for a really they've known this and they've talked about it, is that there's actually not an outer environment. There's only an inner environment. Because you are perceiving with your eyes, with your nose, with your ears, your mouth, with your sense organs, what's happening out there. You're perceiving it out there, but it actually is occurring inside. Does that make sense? Like I don't exist out here in Zoom. I'm inside your nervous system, and you are interpreting me inside of you. And that's true for everybody. We are all arising inside of each other's consciousness, which is like kind of mind-blowing if you think about it. We're all happening inside of each other as one consciousness. Okay, so where am I going with that? Now here's the kicker. I want you to do that same exercise. Inhale the arms up and exhale them down, but I want you to start breathing before you start moving. Okay? Start breathing before you start moving. So your inhale will begin, then your arms will follow. Your exhale will begin, and then your arms will go down. Go ahead and try that like 5 or 6 times. Really try to get this, okay? Really try to nail it. Before you start moving, start breathing. Take your time with it. Really focus the mind. This is a tricky one. You'll notice that you want to breathe and move at the same time. Sometimes you want to move faster. Slow down. See if you can add a full second of breath before you begin. Just notice what that does for your breath, for your mind, actually. And then just go ahead and complete your last round there, coming down. And just rest for a moment and feel the difference, actually. So it's a very, very simple exercise, that one we just did. I like to call that one, that's advanced yoga for complete beginners. You can teach that to anybody. Was it tricky? Go ahead and just give me a nod if it felt a little tricky. Some of you guys have been doing this for years with me, so you're familiar. But still, even after practicing for, thousands of practices, it can still be tricky. What makes it tricky? It's tricky because you are no longer able to escape your sadhana. You're no longer able to leave the building. And I don't know about you, but there's things that happen in my life where I am gone. Grant is here, but his mind is elsewhere. And guess what happens then? I get myself in trouble. I say things I don't want to say. I don't do what I'm supposed to do because I escape the mission. I escape my true intention. And it's not my intention to escape, but it happens. Now, why does it happen? Right? Why? Because we have karma. We have shit inside of us that has not been dealt with. Shit's kind of a heavy word. I don't mean to put that on you guys. I'm saying that we have, a better word is we have psychic residue. Okay, we have psychic residue from the life that we live. It's called being a human being. And that residue gets stuck in the nervous system. And if it doesn't have a way to be worked out, then it becomes samskara. I'm going to write that in the chat. Samskara. And that is basically the manifestation of karma in your nervous system. It is an action that wants to repeat itself. It's called a habit, but some of the habits we have, we don't want, right? So there you have an example, a really beautiful example of a yoga practice that you can do anywhere, at any time. It's called encompassing your movement and your breath. So encompassing your movement and your breath. So I just wanted to do that to give you guys like a tangible example of what we're talking about with sadhana, with karma, all that stuff. Is this stuff making sense? Some of you that are new, is this making sense? Yeah. And then those of you who are familiar, you're still with me. Excellent. Okay. So now that we know that we are creatures of habit, who needed to be told that again? And we have things in us that can be worked out. Because here's the thing, before we get into our practice, I want to make this really clear. When you realize that you have habits and you have patterns and you're in a practice and you're doing this thing, those habits and patterns, as you start to clear them, it becomes uncomfortable. Healing is uncomfortable because parts of us have to die. There's parts of the nervous system that are being clung to, like as precious parts of who we think we are. And it hurts to actually untangle those knots. It can hurt. It's not always painful. It's not, and this is what the yogis call tapas. Tapas, T-A-P-S. And Mo, yeah, I'm recording this and I'll send you guys this. Tapas is not the little plates of food that you get at a Mediterranean restaurant. Tapas is the heat of practice. And it's the heat of you going through some spiritual discipline that is meant to actually evolve you. And so even this simple movement while it seems so simple, try it for 5 minutes and try to stay focused for 5 minutes without letting your mind get in the way. That is tapas. You will get bored. You will want to quit. All sorts of things. You'll think about what you're going to do later. You'll think about how much better like your time could be spent. All that stuff comes up. And guess what? That's all part of the karma and the samskara that we're talking about, all the psychic residue. So I've just given like a ton of framework of why this is so important. And I feel like the teaching is actually as important as the practice, at least just so we start to understand what we're doing and how healing is happening. And I think for now, like, are you guys fully saturated with information and you're ready to practice? Was this good to actually talk about this stuff? Okay. Thank you. Thank you for the thumbs up. We did. That was actually record timing. Usually I'll talk for like most of the hour. So thank you. I'm glad that I was able to get some of these concepts out. There's a lot more that could be discussed. But for now, I think you guys have, especially if you're new, like you have enough of a framework and a track to run on so that we can continue to build and layer. So we have Sangha, the group of people that are determined to heal, to not repeat the past. We have Sadhana, which is the way of attainment, your particular system that you use to not repeat the past, to clear the past. You have karma, which is the reason we repeat the past, the cause and effect. You have samskara, which are the neural grooves in your nervous system. I might be missing a few things. I'm not going to talk about prana or kundalini psychic shit. Tani's, the psychic shit is samskara. Yeah, the residue on the system. And I'm not going to talk about prana or shakti or kundalini or I have a bunch of other things that I have written down, or the limbic brain or the medulla. Like there's a lot of really, I'm writing a book right now on breath work, which is super exciting. So a lot of this stuff is like coming out of like being compiled there. Don't worry, you'll be the first to know, but let's practice. How about we finish, we'll do 20 minutes of breathing practice and then maybe we have a few minutes at the end for Q&A or a little bit of discussion. Does that sound good to you guys? Or are we on board with the breathwork thing? Awesome. Okay, thank you guys. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling excited to have you here. So, can you guys hear that? Everyone knows the mantra Om. I just want you to Om 3 times. And as you Om, try to feel your whole body, okay? So you're not just making a sound with your mouth, you're actually making the sound with your whole body, with your fingers, with your toes, with your ears. Good. Breathe in. Two more times. One more time. Feel it in your whole body. Vibrate your entire body. Just come to the end of your own. Keep your eyes closed. Remember your word of intention, but remember the of that word. The essence of why you're here. Try to feel the deeper reason. And while staying connected to this, I'll start the next breathing exercise. I'll explain after how it's working, and I just want you to join in. It's very simple. Try not to overthink it. Twice through the nose, twice through the mouth, like this. Please join in. Keep going. Don't stop. This is known as a Kriya. It's the double breathing Kriya. Twice through the nose, twice through the mouth. A Kriya is an action that liberates energy. Because energy is free, you just have to harness it. You are the dynamo. Keep going. You are the dynamo. Just like a wheel, a water wheel in a river, there is a flow of consciousness moving through the universe, moving through your body, moving through your mind. It's what animates everything. And you can put yourself in that flow and you can harness its energy. And a Kriya is that which liberates energy in your system. It liberates the stuck parts of you, the psychic residue, the things that are obstructing the flow of life, and freeing up that energy so that you can be more responsive, you can be more present, less reactive. Keep going. Now try a little bit longer breath. Try to get it up into your chest. Good, just about 20 more seconds. The double breathing Kriya, liberating energy in your system so that your wheel can flow more unrestricted. Try to get it all the way up into the base of your throat. Try to get it up into your brain. Get the breath all the way up into your brain. Try to illuminate the top of your skull with breath. Good, 3 more times, guys. One more. Now please exhale completely. All the way out, all the way out, all the way out. Empty your lungs. Now inhale slowly through your nose. Full breath in. Get to the top of that breath and then hold the breath in. You're not only holding the breath, but you're holding the energy that you've harnessed. This is your prana. You can feel it. There's tingling, there's buzzing. See if you can create a container for that energy. Try not to let it escape. Okay, create that container, seal the container. And as you keep that container nice and sealed, let your air out with a tiny little exhale breath, like you're exhaling through a straw. Keep the energy in your body. Get to the end of the breath, keep a little air in your lungs, and then rest. Don't breathe at all. Hold the air out. See if you can rest inside of yourself without needing to think. You don't need to think when there's a lot of energy in your system. You purely respond and feel. You've wiped your slate clean, and for about 1.5 minutes, You're in a completely neutral space, a loving space, a generous space as consciousness. Be sure to breathe when you need to. If you don't need to breathe, you can stay empty for a little bit longer. And now just take a nice, easy, slow inhale breath. This is your recovery breath. Breathe in through your nose. Hold the breath in. This is your recovery breath. Hold that recovery breath in for 12 seconds. See if you can distribute this new energy through your body. Try to feel it in your fingers, in your toes, in your head. And with an ah breath, release. And just come into a natural, easy breathing rhythm. No force or strain to your breath, just natural, easy breath. That was one round of the double breathing Kriya. Very simple, very effective. And this exercise helps mobilize energy from what's called the dorsal vagal complex. This is like the part of your nervous system that stores. When you freeze and you don't respond to life, like if you actually don't take action when you're supposed to take action, something gets kind of stuck in your system. And just give, like, the idea is that, have you ever felt like you've laid down at night at the end of the day and you felt like, man, I could have done that better. I could have done like that. I totally should have done this instead of that. This helps mobilize energy from the back and gets it to the front. So now you have all this free energy in your system. So what are we going to do with that? We're going to regulate it, okay? So just with a regulated breath, this is the last exercise we'll do for the sake of time. Call it heart rate variability training. And what I want you to do is just follow this wood block as best as you can, okay? So breathe in through your nose. Everyone take a deep breath in. And now exhale for 6 seconds, okay? So you're gonna have a 6-second exhale. And then you're gonna hear the wood block, breathe in. 6-second inhale, breathe in for 6 seconds. Breathe out for 6 seconds. So now you're gonna regulate your breath in this loop. Inhale. Exhale. See if you can inhale and exhale through the nose. Inhale. Exhale. And if it feels like a stretch, that's okay. Just try your best. Slow, deep inhale. Nice, long exhale. Slow, deep inhale. Nice, long exhale. Continue. And see if you can relax your body. Exhale. Rest on your spine. Use your spine. Inhale. Lean into your spine. Exhale. Continue with this breathing pattern. Try to stay as precise as you can. This is also mind training. Exhale. Jedi mind training. You're training your mind and you're training your life force. Inhale. This is actually true. Exhale. So stay really focused, stay really precise. Try to stay with the wood block. Inhale. Exhale. Now, some of you are more advanced practitioners than others, being that you've done this more often. Inhale. advanced, beginner, it doesn't matter. There's no real level. You're starting where you're at. Exhale. But if you're comfortable with this breathing pattern and you want to introduce breathing up the chakras, then you can do that. So as you're inhaling up your spine through the chakras. You're exhaling down your spine through the chakras. And what that sounds like, breathing in, is inside you're vibrating the bija mantras. Exhale. And I will repeat the bija mantras out loud just in case you're familiar. Lam, vam, ram, yam, hum, om, om, hum, yam, ram, vam, lam. Again, lam, vam, inhaling, ram, yam, hum, om, exhaling, om, hum, yum, ram, vam, lam. Keep going. So if you know these bija mantras and you know the placement of the chakras, you can vibrate the sounds internally to train your prana inside. Inhale. Exhale. Keep going, you guys. You're doing great. Breathing in. Breathing out. And as you vibrate the sound of the chakras, what you're doing is you're cleaning out the limbic brain. Breathing in. The brain projects down into the body through these spinal centers. Breathing out. What you want to do is clean them out. Breathing in. Breathing out. So as you clean your spine and clean your chakras, you actually clean your responsiveness. You no longer are as reactive. And now we're going to transition from this breath right into the parasympathetic breath. So this is a 6-second inhale and a 6-second exhale. You're not going to change anything. You're going to stay with the wood block, except you're inhaling for 6 seconds. And on this exhale, you're going to exhale for 12. So that's 2 wood blocks. 12-second exhale. Nice, slow, easy. Keep exhaling. Inhale for 6, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 12. Keep exhaling. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 6. Exhale for 12. And if this feels like too much, again, it's okay. It's just practice. Keep regulating. Keep exhaling. You're doing great. Inhale 6. Exhale 12. And as you're exhaling, can you feel the space between your heart and your spine? Keep exhaling. Feel the space between your heart and your spine. Inhale 6. Exhale 12. Space between your heart and your spine. Keep exhaling. Inhale 6. Exhale 12. Relax your heart. Keep exhaling. Just do 2 more times, please. Keep exhaling. Last breath cycle. 12-second exhale. Final wood block. Now I'm going to turn the wood block off. I want you to go into your own natural breathing rhythm. Whatever feels most easy and natural. You might have nice, long, slow breaths. You might have shorter, subtler, shallow breaths. And for the next minute, can you bring all of your attention, all of the energy that you've just accumulated in your system, and bring it to your heart? Try not to force, try not to strain. Keep breathing easily and naturally. And just feel the flow of energy, the illumination of the heart center. Imagine there's a lotus blooming right there in your heart, like petals are opening in every direction. And in your heart center, I want you just to bring in everyone and everything that you love. Bring into your awareness the world that you live in and see its beauty. Use this energy that you've generated for blessing. And even if there's sadness or tension still or any of that, just allow that to exist in the presence of your heart space. From this heart, take a deep breath in. In every direction, send your Om into the entire universe. Two more times. As best as you can, try to fill your entire body in the room that you're in with the vibration. Last one. If you want to bring your palms to prayer, you can do so. And just give a silent acknowledgement to your own path, to your journey that has brought you to this moment. We acknowledge all of the teachers that have gone before us, those who've shared their wisdom with us. We acknowledge our own lineage, our own ancestry, our parents, our grandparents. And then we acknowledge all of life, the great Sangha of the world. Namaste. Good to be with you guys. How y'all doing? We covered a lot of ground I recorded the session, so I'll make sure that you get a link to revisit in case there's some things in there that you wanna see. I won't say any more stuff other than thank you. It's always a pleasure to be just to practice, you know, to do this with others, because like I always say, it's like we can talk about it all we want. We can talk about all the different things that are happening in the world, but when we really, really get down to the truth, it's all happening inside of us, right? It's all happening inside of our nervous system. So to me, the most important thing that I can do, I don't want to impose my belief on anybody, but the most important thing that I can do is learn how to regulate this so that I don't take more of my shit and put it where there's already enough shit. And that way I can actually be, you know, when someone comes to me and they have their strong opinion about something, I can actually hold space, because the reason we have such strong opinions is because we're scared. We're scared about things. But when we understand the truth of who we are, we're no longer afraid. Did you have any fear when you were in that space after the double breathing Kriya? Right? Were you worried about anything? You know, it's just clean slate. So again, thank you so much. I know some of you have to go. It's 10:02. We actually finished on time, which is amazing. And Mo's shown us a beautiful sun over there. Thank you, Mo. If you guys want, if you need to jump off, I understand. Thank you. I'll be one more next Wednesday. There'll be another session next Wednesday. Oh, wait, let me check the calendar. I'm helping on a retreat in September, so I won't be available on the 15th. So if you guys are coming back next week, I'll be here next week, which is the 1st, September 1st. I'll be here on the 8th, but on the 15th, I'll be gone. And then we'll keep it rolling. We'll just keep the breath camp happening. So I'll make sure you're all updated. What else? Yeah, so I think that's it as far as updates go. If you need to leave, I understand. Thank you. I'll send you guys a recording. If anyone has questions and wants to stay, I'm happy to stay for an extra 5 or 10 minutes and answer questions and check in with you guys. So.
Thank you, brother. So beautiful sharing space with you. Thank you for your offering today. Yeah, I'll carry that with me.
Oh, blessings, Jamie. Jamie was my first yoga boss. My first yoga job at Core Power Yoga next to Whole Foods in Chandler, and Jamie was the manager. Believe that? Wow.
Lifetimes ago, brother. Lifetimes ago. That's wild. Wild. Beautiful to be able to observe ourselves back then and staying on the path. So thank you for holding the space for all of us and for all of you out there. I love all of you. I think there's a good amount of us in here. And yeah, brother, I'll see you next Wednesday, if not sooner.
Thank you, bro.
Much love, y'all.
Much love. Dear Grant, well, thank you for this beautiful gift.
Yes.
Very spontaneously, I was walking around the whole day, like on the road and everywhere, and I just got home and it all fell off. And yeah, very, very felt, and so much truth and so much gratefulness. And I'm excited for the next session. It's really a gift.
I'm glad that you're inspired and are excited. Good to have you here. Mm-hmm.
Good to see you again. And everyone else. Like, I've been late for 15 minutes, but this is the best part of the day for me so far. So I'll carry that with me as well, of course. And I'm looking forward for the next sessions.
Me too. Thank you, Mo.
All right, you next time, right?
On the 1st, September 1st.
All right, I'll be there.
Yes.
I guess I'll go ahead. I'm just pretty happy to be part of this. And for me, I've only done, primordial vocal activations when I was in Costa Rica last January, not last, the other one before, actually, 2020. And that was like a first introduction to like breath and stuff. And I've never really done actual breath work. And this is a first for me in a very potent time of my life. I've just separated with someone that I've been with for 3 years. And yeah, it's that's why I chose the word self, because I guess all this energy is now redirected towards me and me only until I just reach another level of where I'm at in my life, and then probably meet someone else or just continue whichever life has to offer for me and what I choose. So this is like a big first step for me in doing this, other than doing the gym subscription thing. So I'm really grateful for this, Grant. And I've been following you for a while, but haven't been, doing anything with you or practicing anything, or just seeing your stuff go by. And now finally getting a chance to be part of it means a lot. So thank you. And thank you to all of you who are still here and those who were here. Thank you.
Blessings, Matthew. Glad you can make it. I see your message there, Rick. Thank you. Lots of love, brother. Glad to see you in here. Does anyone, I know it's really good to share and, to share the beautiful energy. So if you guys feel like sharing, please, by all means, anybody that's here, I'm sure would be happy to listen. Soon.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. I just wanted to say thank you. I'm eternally grateful to have you in my life, near and afar, and to have this opportunity to have this home, this beautiful vessel that we create in ourselves. Like you said, it's so interesting that the word create. I just made stickers the other day that says create. And it is, we are artists. In shamanic terms, an artist is someone who creates beauty in their world, whether that's cooking, art, painting, music, singing, dancing, anything that you create to make beautiful life in your world. And that's a ripple effect for all those that you come into an encounter with. And thank you for inspiring and always being the light. I truly appreciate you, and I see you. And you're doing amazing work. Keep doing the work, having the faith. And the word I chose was hope, especially with all the stuff that's going on in this world, is to hold on to hope. Hope for a better day, a greater day, and knowing that you have and are the light. And amidst all the chaos, there's always something good to be grateful for and hold on to. So thank you for allowing us to be here today, and our beautiful breath. Each breath that we take is a taste of life. It's a gift. Not many people can and are able to do. And so we honor those that have passed on and all of those that are here with us, and to just take a breath, take a breather, to hold gratitude, and just know that you are an amazing, beautiful, radiant soul, and that you can go effortlessly and fearlessly on your divine path, knowing you're divinely guided and supported and protected and nurtured. You just got to hold the faith and have hope. And so with that, I have to peace out. I got to go get my kids and get all the stuff. I just want you to know I love you all. So God bless you. Keep shining bright. Thank you.
Oh.
Blessings to you.
Wow. Yeah, that's a profound and simple truth, that there's always something to be grateful. It's just our breath, which we can, if you feel there's nothing to be grateful for, just breathe and you will get there sooner or later. Wow. Thank you for these beautiful words and the space. Wow.
Yes. All right, guys, I'm gonna close down in just a couple minutes. If anyone has anything else that they want to share or add to the space, happy to receive your words. If not, no worries. Don't feel obligated. All right. Hey, Matthew, you had a flute. Is it in your hand still? Does anyone feel like receiving the blessing of this gentleman's flute playing? I think that'd be a nice little closing addition.
You bet.
Sure, yes.
All right. I'll do my best. Only my best. Thank you.
Making music with your breath. Amazing. Well, all right, you guys. Sending many, many blessings from Costa Rica. Good to see you all. Matthew, Tanya, Mo, Bryce, Robert. I'll send you guys a recording of this. And there'll also be a link to donate in case you want to donate. So you guys can, you can pick in there. All right, and then I'll see you next week, if not sooner. Blessings, guys. Om.